Coming up, this event happens every semester on campus, and why tensions were high this afternoon.
And new medical advancements.
We will have all you need to know and more coming up next on Murrow News 8.
Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening. I'm Luke Doughton.
And I'm Gabby Durante. Welcome to Murrow News 8. Luke, how are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good, Gabby, but there is one thing that caught my eye here today at WSU. A WSU professor received over $500,000 in grant money. Ganapati Bhatt, an assistant professor at the university's School of Electrical Engineering and Computer Science, received a $577,000 grant from the National Science Foundation. Bhatt is working on several versions of wearable medical technology that are more comfortable and functional for daily use.
Pullman police are asking for information after a report was made of a suspicious male looking into homes around College Hill. Officers are investigating the situation. If you have any information you believe might be helpful to investigators, call the police department.
WSU has played host to their Spring 2023 Career Expo over the last 2 days. 45 different employers set up shop online for students to meet virtually. At Beasley Coliseum, over 125 employers were set up for students to engage with. Many students were allowed to come network, try to get interviews, and build relationships with all of these companies for free.
Moscow School District resumes classes after being placed under a temporary lockdown on Wednesday. Police determined that the threat was a false active shooter report at Moscow High School. The Moscow School District has resumed classes, but are keeping students inside of the buildings until the end of classes. Parents wishing to pick up their students can do so by contacting the school office. Emotions were running high on the Glen Terrell Mall this afternoon. We sent Murrow News 8 reporter Ivy Shank out to see what the tension was all about.
All right, I'm out here in front of the Cub on Glen Terrell Mall, where a group of anti-abortion activists have drawn quite the crowd, actually. And
okay, on the boat. I would just see you feed children in your hands.
We need to make a stand for the children that are being dismembered, disemboweled, and decapitated by abortion.
You know, abortion is healthcare, and it just sucks that we're so backwards on this, I guess. So.
It just interests me to see how people communicate when it comes to their own values. It's really interesting.
States quiet. To peddle your ideologies? Disgusting!
A 35-year-old Pullman woman has pled guilty to armed robbery and multiple stolen vehicle cases. Gabriel Hernandez took part in the armed robbery of a Garfield man inside his home in September. Hernandez agreed to cooperate with the prosecutor's case against her 37-year-old boyfriend, Roy Valdez, who was allegedly involved in the robbery. Hernandez is set to be sentenced next month, and she remains in the Whitman County Jail without bond.
The Cub had the housing fair today in the senior ballroom. We sent out Murrow News 8 reporter Sydney Berger to share with us what it looks like and how you can find your next place to live. Coming up, what it has been like for the U.S. to recover from the spy balloon dropping from the sky.
And what you can expect from the local forecast, coming up next after the break.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Hey, thanks for your patience.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 1-877-333-5885.
According to CBS, the U.S. Navy is continuing to recover parts of the Chinese spy balloon after it was shot down by U.S. fighter jets on Saturday. The Navy is off the coast of South Carolina collecting remains of the balloon and using underwater drones to locate the debris. We have the latest updates
regarding the Turkey-Syria earthquake. According to CNN, the death toll has reached over 12,000 and 3,000 in Syria, and roughly 9,000 in Turkey have died. Almost these fatalities, the State Department says at least 3 U.S. citizens were killed in the earthquake. CNN also reports almost 60,000 injuries have been recorded in both countries combined. It's finally sunny outside. Adon, can you tell me how much longer we are going to see it?
Well, as of today, the current weather has been at a high of 42 and a low of 27, with 10 miles per hour coming from the east side. Sunrise was at 7:02, and sunset is expected to be at 5:02. Looking forward to tomorrow's weather. Sunrise is expected to be at 7:02, and sunset is expected for 5:04. The high for tomorrow is going to be 44 degrees and the low 32, with 14 mile per hour winds coming from the southeast. As we look ahead to the next 5 days of the weather, for tomorrow we're expecting a high of 44 of high and a low of 32. For Friday, we have a high of 45 degrees and a low of 31 degrees, with mostly a cloudy sky. Same can be said for Saturday. Same could be said for Saturday, with a high of 43 and a low of 29, but with a lot of clouds. We look ahead to Sunday, and we have a 44 as a high and a 36 of a low, but the thing is, there is going to be a little more sun until Monday, with a high of 44 and a low of 28, but with rain and snow expected. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up, LeBron James makes history on the basketball court.
And can the Cougs crisp the Huskies at the home Saturday night game? Coming up next on Murrow News 8.
Pre-adults has pre-diabetes, 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
With the fadeaway jump shot, LeBron James cements himself as the regular season leading scorer of all time.
Looking for James, he's got it.
The distinction definitely adds fuel to the fire regarding the conversation, who is the real GOAT? LeBron's 38,388th point was scored against the Thunder with just 10 seconds left in the third quarter. This new record passes the previous set by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who now sits at second highest regular season score with the points of 38,387 points. This Saturday night at 9:30 p.m., the WSU men's basketball team takes the team out west for the first edition of the Apple Cup this year. The game marks the first home game the Cougs the first home game the Cougs in 2 weeks, as well as the first in their upcoming homestand. Both teams are 5-9 in conference play and desperately need a win on Saturday to keep this conference high and able to keep their conference score high on the road this postseason play. Former WSU stars Gardner Minshew and Andrew Dillard will be suiting up for the Super Bowl 57 on the same team. Both players were on WSU's football's extraordinary 2018 11-2 season. Both will be playing for the Philadelphia Eagles, with Minshew will be serving as the Eagles' backup quarterback, while Dillard will be the sixth man on the Phillies' offensive line. Minshew is quoted saying as, "It's so cool," well spoken. The Super Bowl is being played on Sunday, February 12th, and without wishing any harm on any of the players, I know the Cougs would love to see Minshew thrown in there as QB. Staying on the Super Bowl, Michael Irvin made a quick exit from the NFL's coverage of the following a sexual misconduct allegation. The Hall of Famer turned sportscaster has questioned the truthfulness of the allegation, stating that he is perplexed by the whole situation. This incident allegedly occurred in the hotel lobby where Irving was staying. He had a quick conversation with the woman in the hotel lobby, shook her hand and left, then later being moved to a different hotel because of an unspecified complaint. The hotel camera does confirm that he did in fact talk to a woman in the lobby, but leaving shortly after the conversation. An internal investigation is underway to determine what really happened. That's all from me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up for all you dog owners, this next segment might be for you.
Find out more coming up next after the break.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
For all you dog owners, this might be a goal of yours to raise the healthiest furry friend that you can have.
The world's oldest dog has beat the Guinness World Record. Bobby, at the age of almost 31 years old, lives to be one of the oldest dogs. You know, I have a puppy at home, and I hope that she lives to be as old as Bobby. How about Luke? How about you, Luke? Do you have a dog?
I don't have a dog, but I do have a dog nephew. His name is George Michael Gleason Doughton.
Oh my, that's a mouthful. Oh my gosh.
He is the cutest little thing.
Okay, well, thanks for watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpb.org/mn8, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a good night.